This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi.
Yes.
Indeed. Thank you for
Back
joining
again.
us, John.
Sure. Pleasure to be here.
All right. Well, we're going to go right away to some election coverage.
Yes, of course, it is Election Day, and voters who have not yet cast their ballots hit their poll to make their choice for the 45th President of the United States.
Yeah, so far, it's been a tight race between Clinton and Trump, but we go now to Adrian Bankert and Kenneth Moton.
Confident in his last big rally in Michigan. Of course, this campaign has been full of excitement. Trump promising big changes, an economic comeback, and a win in the key battleground state.
Early Tuesday morning, Election Day. Donald Trump wrapping a campaign blitz.
So it's now officially Tuesday, November 8th.
Rallying his supporters in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Today is our Independence Day. Today, the American working class is going to strike back, finally.
The Republican nominee's last stop capping a marathon day of 8 states in 24 hours, including Florida and New Hampshire. Long lines of supporters waiting overnight to see him.
We're winning Ohio. We're winning Iowa. We're winning, we think, New Hampshire.
Donald Trump returning to New York to vote at 10 a.m.
And no matter what happens, Donald Trump and his group, of course, going to be celebrating here at the Hilton in Midtown Manhattan in the Grand Ballroom. Adrian Bankert, ABC News, New York. Now to my colleague Kenneth Moton for more on the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Adrian, Hillary Clinton made her way back to New York State here about 3 hours ago. She had a whirlwind day on election eve, trying to make that final push for votes.
A woman on the cusp of history, standing with this nation's first black president in front of thousands in the birthplace of the nation, Philadelphia.
I will be a president for all Americans.
This unprecedented image, the Clintons and the Obamas united.
I'm asking you to work as hard as you can this one last day to elect, my fellow Americans, this fighter, this stateswoman.
Overnight, Clinton received some star-studded help from the boss, Bruce Springsteen, John Bon Jovi, and Lady Gaga, who made her way to battleground North Carolina, where Clinton made her closing argument.
Love trumps hate. Thank you. Let's go vote, North Carolina.
Clinton and Trump both holding their election night rallies and parties, I should say, here in New York City, but I've learned that they'll just both be a block away from each other when they watch those results come in tonight. Reporting live here with the Clinton campaign in New York City, Kenneth Moton, ABC News, back to you.
Wow.
All right. Lots going on today.
Indeed, indeed it is November 8th. And like I was telling John earlier, I think of November 8th, Bobby Bowden's birthday. And at one point, he was probably more popular than the president, or at least the governor.
Probably,
yeah.
but that doesn't occur to the rest of us when we think of November 8th. Just saying.
But see, yeah, man crush on Bobby Bowden. So, you know.
Good to know. Good to know.
You're probably not the only one out there.
Probably not. Well, at least the weather not going to be an excuse locally to not go get
really
out the vote.
Nationwide.
Well, that's
I mean,
good.
it's looking pretty good nationwide. There's not a lot of cold, frigid air in place. There's
No big storms?
only a couple in the very deepest part of the deep south. There's a couple of showers and thunderstorms around, but nothing that should keep anybody away. Nothing severe. So all in all, I mean, weather-wise, it's cooperating beautifully with Election Day, and certainly locally, everything looks great out there. Another beautiful day here with little rain chance and a mix of sun and clouds. Daytime highs again topping out mild and warm, coming in at around 85 degrees or so. All in all, we wait for another cold front to arrive. That'll be here tomorrow. We'll talk about that in just a few.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at the roadways here at 6:04. Things are starting to heat up and get going as people get out to school or work or the polls today. And as John said, it'll be good weather, so it'll be good for facilitating the vote. But no accidents or delays in Manatee County. See, Sarasota County, too, is moving along without any issues at this point in the morning.
It is 6:05, and keeping with politics today, there are several other key elections, of course, on the ballot about who else should take office.
Florida voters will decide whether Senator Marco Rubio should serve a second term. Incumbent Republican Rubio is facing Democratic U.S. Representative Patrick Murphy. Voters will also pick at least 8 new U.S. House members, and there are 4 constitutional amendments on the ballot as well. one on solar energy, one on legalizing the use of medical marijuana, also a tax exemption for disabled first responders, and a homestead tax exemption for certain low-income seniors.
In Venice, voters will decide on a new city leader. Incumbent John Hollick is running for re-election, but he's facing competition from blogger Frankie Abruzino, who runs the popular website The Scoop News. Abruzino says he wants controllable and sustainable growth, better management of the city budget, and other changes. John Hollick says he is also for sustainable growth and says he's helped balance the city budget. Council member seats 5, 6, and 7 are also on the Venice ballot.
If you still need to vote, remember to bring a valid ID to the polling location. Polls will be open from 7 this morning till 7 tonight. Both Sarasota County Area Transit and Manatee County Area Transit are offering free bus rides on Election Day, so be sure to stay with ABC7 throughout the day for the latest election news, and we'll bring you continuous coverage on our website, social media accounts, and newscasts throughout the day and evening.
Sarasota County Commissioners will meet today to discuss several issues, including beach erosion on Manasota Key. Commissioners will look at ways to address beach erosion and if the county should join with Charlotte County for a beach renourishment project. The two commissions recently held a joint meeting to go over the problem. If Sarasota County joins with Charlotte County for a renourishment project, it could save on costs to complete it and also would increase eligibility for state funding. Today's meeting will be held at 9 o'clock. Sarasota County Commissioners will also hold a public hearing to go over proposed changes to impact fee ordinances. The county currently collects 9 impact fees from new developments to use toward roads, education, law enforcement, and other needs. Current fees are based on studies from 2006 to 2007. In an updated report released last month, the new study recommends increasing those fees. Commissioners will go over the report and consider the changes at the meeting today at 1:30.
New this morning, police officers and other employees of the Sarasota Police Department will soon see an increase in their pay. According to the Herald Tribune, the City Commission is approving retroactive pay raises going as far back as 2014. Personnel will receive a 3% increase in pay from 2014 to 2015, while criminalists will begin a new pay schedule. It's the first time in 8 years that officers have received a raise, and the Southwest Florida chapter of the Florida Police Benevolent Association must sign off on this agreement before the changes go into effect. In Palmetto, a proposed development is causing mixed reactions as city commissioners voted 3-2 yesterday to approve a new development off of Haven Boulevard. According to the Herald Tribune, developer Riviera West plans to build a 7-story high-rise with 150 residential units. City planners are recommending approval, saying the project falls into the city's comprehensive plan. Commissioners who are opposed say the plan is too intense for the area. Developers must provide the city with a final site plan within 3 years.
Well, our seasonal visitors, of course, already starting to return to the Suncoast, but tourism's so important for our economy. How do we keep them coming back again and again, year after year?
This morning, as part of our Suncoast 2037 series, we're looking at how the tourism industry may change over the next 20 years. Right now, a lot of the marketing effort is spent promoting our gorgeous beaches, and they speak for themselves, really. Ron Cooper, the president of the Greater Sarasota Chamber of Commerce, says we need to also invest in other unique amenities like our growing arts and culture community, fine dining, sports complexes, also the BMX track that is world-class, and Nathan Benderson Park's rowing facility as well.
It's kind of identifying those assets that allow us to diversify the focus of the tourism from a geographic standpoint. What unique assets do we have in each portion of the county that we can leverage to draw interest?
Cooper took over as president and CEO of the chamber last month. For more stories on how the Suncoast could change by the year 2037, just go to our website, mysuncoast.com.
I certainly think it's interesting that sports tourism is becoming such a focus here, you know, and different kinds of sports with BMX and rowing. I mean, that's amazing to be able to visit here and compete.
Yeah, off the beaten path, no pun intended. I mean, it's good to have the off the beaten path sports, and you're able to do it year round here, so it's a great place to come.
Well, and as someone who travels a lot for kids sports, to be able to go somewhere as nice as here to compete in your sport is a big bonus.
Big money, too.
Big money, too. Yeah, a lot of people involved.
That's nice to bring that in.
Very smart.
Yeah, and to continue on with our arts tradition and the circus tradition and all that.
All the others.
Fantastic stuff. I just hope we don't never get rid of the big giant oranges on the side of the road where you get your orange juice. Giant dinosaurs.
Harder to find these days, but they're there. Old Florida lives.
I know, old Florida's good stuff. We have across the region some good stuff in terms of weather as well. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right, sounds good. And still to come here on Good Morning Suncoast, a fun little scavenger hunt ends in a life-saving rescue mission. A great story straight ahead.
ABC7 is proud to present Line Dance Central. Now you can learn popular country and not-so-country line dances from the comfort of your own home. Just visit mysuncoast.com, click on Entertainment, and you'll be kicking up your boots or flip-flops in no time. Brought to you by the White Buffalo Saloon and Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation, and everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts, and 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called three-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Dotoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current air temperature coming in at a comfortable 66 degrees, and I say comfortable because the dew point value is very comfortable at 60. Have a little bit of fair weather cloudiness around from time to time, but also as dawn breaks, you're going to see a lot of blue sky out there as well. Northeast wind comes in at about 6 today. It'll be breezier later on this afternoon as we get some of those stronger winds aloft to mix down to the surface. 61 degrees Wauchula, 60 Arcadia, Mayaca, Parrish, Bradenton, 61 Lakewood Ranch, Northport the same, 60 in Punta Gorda, up a degree this hour. Venice coming in at 63, so's Inglewood, and Longboat Key comes in at 66 degrees. We have this big ridge of high pressure that extends along the eastern seaboard down into the deep south and the Florida peninsula, completely driving our weather, bringing us an easterly wind flow. A couple of showers and thunderstorms popping up toward the Louisiana Delta region. That trough low pressure will deepen as we head into the next 24 hours because of upper level influences, and a low pressure area at the surface will likely form. A little frontal boundary will develop, and we'll start to see showers spread through more of the deep south, I think, as that low tracks northward. It will help drag a cold front through our region Wednesday night. bring us a slight chance at a shower. Not a big chance, but a slight, maybe 20% chance of it. The further north you go, the better the rain chances will be. And in our neck of the woods, the rain chances are going to be pretty minor. Sun cloud mix, gusty winds, and dry skies for us today. Those are the weather features. No issues whatsoever with the weather and getting out to the polls today. Scattered showers along the other coast dissipating as they move closer to shore, and just a little edge of those showers and thunderstorms visible on radar beginning to move a little bit closer to the northern Gulf Coast. Locally, everything is quiet and will be throughout the morning hours. Don't see any rain coming our way. Wind speeds coming in at about 5 to 10 this morning. Most everywhere, really. The wind direction is continually out of the northeast. And I think as we head into the afternoon, we'll see those winds become a little stronger and a little gustier. Rainfall futurecast shows a couple of things. One, the effect of that easterly wind flow with some showers trying to move onshore in Florida along the Atlantic coast, and a developing area of low pressure. Really not doing a whole lot here, just kind of meandering in Gulf waters and eventually getting its act together. The front moves through here by later in the day on Wednesday into Thursday morning, and we are left with some quiet conditions. Thunderstorm forecast does not look very impressive. Mostly today, it will be affecting areas of Texas, Louisiana, coastlines. I don't think we're going to see anything severe come out of these storms, just a few pops of lightning. That's about it. Florida absolutely free and clear of any thunderstorm activity today. Tropics looks good too. Nothing here that concerns us as we wind down our hurricane season. We're watching Gulf waters, Caribbean, near Atlantic, all looking very tame and very quiet. Forecast for boaters today, we'll look for northeast wind at about 5 to 10, increasing a little this afternoon, as I mentioned, up to about 10 to 15. Boaters don't be caught by surprise with that. I think as we head into tonight and then into tomorrow, we might get pretty close to exercise caution levels of wind speed. So pay attention, boaters, over the next 24 hours to your winds. 2 to 3 foot seas, light chop on bay and inland waters, probably increasing to a moderate chop late in the day. Forecast calling for that 20% chance of a late day shower tomorrow, followed by breezy Thursday conditions and cooler temperatures in the upper 70s to carry us through the remainder of the work week. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, John. Great news to get out the vote today. And looking at the roadways, no reason not to get out early. Polls opening at 7 a.m. Traffic looking pretty good right now. Building volume on the Bradenton bridges and 301 southbound. But other than that, things are quiet in Manatee County. All good on I-75. Starting to see a little building volume 301 northbound into downtown. Fruitville picking up in volume as well, but still no major slowdowns at this hour. I-75 looks great through Sarasota County and into South County. And we will continue to keep an eye on the roads as we go through this election day, and we expect those polling places to be busy first thing this morning. Coming up on 6:19 with an incredible story out of Washington.
2 men out on a scavenger hunt found more than they expected, and they ended up saving a woman's life as a result. Ariana Cohen has the story.
A lot of times it's looking at a GPS.
Sunday morning, Tim Turner and Derek Fisher went out geocaching on Horse Heaven Hills in Benton City.
So our geocaching, which is just finding treasures and finding things to sign and just our little game, our hobby.
A scavenger hunt to find hidden treasures using GPS coordinates.
Turned into an amazing adventure.
When they walked towards the bottom of the hill, they saw a truck that looked abandoned. Then they noticed something else out of the ordinary.
And when we kind of bent down and looked, you could kind of see in the flap, and it was windy, and you could see a leg and a hand.
You know, it was just kind of awe. It was shock.
And so the first reaction was, we've found a body. This is not good. There's a body in the backseat. And then she moved.
A woman was inside the car, still alive.
And she spoke to us, and suddenly we're in a conversation. It's like, okay, wait, are you all right? You know, are you the driver of the car? Was there a passenger? And she's answering, no, I'm the only person in the car. I don't know how I got here.
It was 52-year-old Cindy Hendrickson. She spent 14 hours trapped in the backseat of her car after rolling down a 150-foot embankment.
There was definitely something that put us there.
They called 911. The men said she was airlifted to a hospital. She fractured 2 neck and 5 spinal vertebrae, as well as 2 ribs.
Relief to see that she looked like she was probably going to be okay. I'm very thankful.
Yeah, that's amazing. You never know when your Good Samaritan will come along when you need them.
Yeah, I mean, just to walk upon it and have no idea, like you think it's just some innocuous car left there, and all of a sudden there's a body there, and then they think it's a body and it's moving.
And it needs you.
It's a little scary situation. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
Will the next first family influence the voters at the polls today? We'll take a look at how the absence of one family member from the campaign trail could impact an election.
It's the Crystal Classic International Sand Sculpting Festival on Siesta Beach, November 11th through 15th, with 24 of the world's best sand sculptors. Bring the family for new hands-on kids activities, live music, food, sand sculpting lessons, and more. See SiestaKeyCrystalClassic.com for details.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Alex Karras Lincoln's holiday sales event is here. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Come see the Crystal Classic International Sand Sculpting Festival November 11th through 15th on Siesta Beach. Check out the Crystal Classic Party Tent, produced by Siesta Key Chamber of Commerce and Moat Marine. Details including remote parking via SCAT. Visit SiestaKeyCrystalClassic.com.
It is 6:24, and both presidential candidates have relied heavily on their families throughout the campaign. But how much does that matter to voters?
ABC's Paula Ferris has the details.
In this morning's GMA First Look, they're the candidates' secret weapons, their families.
He will make fantastic president.
She's strong enough to be president.
The potential first families pounding the campaign pavement for that presidential win.
We get a sense of who they are through their children, through their spouse. We want to get a human connection to that individual. Families give us that connection.
She's the best darn change maker I ever met in my entire life.
Still hugely popular in Democratic circles, President Bill Clinton has tried to capitalize on that love. But in a rare move for political spouses, Melania Trump has been mostly absent from the trail.
So it's hard to say whether she's been a positive or negative factor. She's really has been a neutral factor.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we have wall-to-wall coverage as America votes. With your GMA First Look, I'm Paula Ferris, ABC News, Florida.
Would you believe my boy used to have food sensitivities? But then we fed him Blue Basics, and he's never looked or felt better.
If your dog has food sensitivities, it's time to try limited ingredient Blue Basics.
Just press clean and let Roomba help with your everyday messes. A full suite of sensors automatically guides Roomba throughout your home, cleaning under furniture, along edges, and in corners. And Roomba's patented 3-stage cleaning system agitates, brushes, and suctions dirt from your floors for up to 2 hours, recharging itself when it needs to, which means your floors are always clean. You and Roomba from iRobot. Better together.
Good morning. Good morning.
There are 16 fresh-picked oranges squeezed into each bottle of Tropicana Pure Premium, and absolutely no space for added sugar, water, or preservatives. Tropicana. We put the good in morning.
These are our heroes. They have sacrificed so much to serve our country. And now Granny Nannies is truly honored to serve them. We're here and we're ready to help. Call us today.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
At Granny Nannies, we provide your loved ones with the care they deserve, compassionate and experienced help right where you need it most, at home. Visit us at GrannyNannies.com.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the first votes are in as voters already start hitting the polls today. We'll show you who's taking an early lead.
Plus, over 24 students at one Florida school hospitalized after getting sick. What's to blame for that sudden illness?
How a bottle of salad dressing has caused thousands of dollars in damage and why it's now being recalled.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back at 6:30. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Don Brown, along with John Scalzi. In fact, more people have already voted in Florida for this presidential election than voted in its entirety for the 2000 election, which you covered. You said
I
for the
did cover
presidential
that.
election, which
Yes.
all the hanging chads and whatnot.
Unfortunately, I was in Ohio, so it wasn't so stressful for me. But yeah, and early voting has been just immensely popular.
Huge.
So that's good. I think that'll cut down on some of the chaos and hopefully some of the issues at the polls today. But they're still expecting big lines.
Yeah, what are they saying? 40% or so
I
of
heard
Floridians?
40 or even close to 50, depending on which poll you go with.
And there were lines for the daily voting, too. I had to go back and forth a bunch
The
of
early
times.
voting?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and And it moved along. It was nice, but it was never like you just ran in, ran out. There was always people there. So it definitely, I can't imagine how if they just held it only on Election Day, how crowded it would be and how tough it would be to vote. So this makes it very good.
I wonder if, the whole hanging Chad thing, people realize now your vote really does count. It really does matter. Get out there and vote.
There's been many good things coming out of this contentious campaign, and I think one of them is people's passion and knowledge about the process.
Voter turnout, exactly. I hope it's huge today.
Good weather will help that, right? Because when it rains, the voting is down. When good weather will help.
Yeah, there are studies that showed like an inch of rain will reduce voter turnout by 1 or 2%. So it can actually make a difference in some
not
elections,
a concern.
but not today, not really anywhere. I don't see anywhere getting an inch of rain today. We're looking at across the region, quiet conditions on the Suncoast, not a drop of rain falling for your morning commute or to get out to the polls. We're looking at a daytime high temperature that tops out mild, coming in around 85 degrees or so. There is a cold front on the way, but its impact on our weather won't happen until tomorrow. We'll talk all about that coming up in a few.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways at 6:31 as you head out the door. And polling starts at 7, so I'm sure people getting ready to go there. But there is maybe more volume than normal on 41, both north and southbound, just south of State Road 70 and Cortez Road, so be aware of that in the Bayshore Gardens area. Other than that, everything is moving along as normal in Manatee County and also for Sarasota County as well. 75, 301, and 41 all moving along nicely at this point. Topping our news this half hour, the pitch from Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump now complete, and the rest is up to the American voters.
That's right, and the nominees were stumping all the way into Election Day. Reed Binion reports.
Midnight.
Voters in Dixville Notch, New Hampshire, casting the first ballots of the 2016 election at the stroke of midnight, even as the nominees themselves pushed forward with one final round of stumping. Clinton and Trump ending Monday's campaign schedule on Tuesday with dueling rallies that ran into the morning hours.
Did you ever think you'd be hearing a major speech like at around close to 1 o'clock in the morning? Are we crazy?
Tomorrow you can vote for a hopeful, inclusive, big-hearted America.
The overnight events followed a dizzying day of stops in key states as the nominees made their final pitch. Clinton campaigning with the boss, Bruce Springsteen, and the big boss, President Obama, introduced by First Lady Michelle Obama. Lady Gaga also stumping for Clinton.
Go out and vote for Hillary Clinton. I think it's time to come to mama.
Trump knocking the celebrity appearances.
We don't need Lady Gaga.
But touting his own high-profile friends.
Tom Brady. He called today, and he said, Donald, I support you.
The campaigns, despite their competing ideas and dueling celebrity support, did seem unified on one initiative on the final day, the importance of voter turnout.
Go out and vote tomorrow.
Let's get out and vote.
I ask you to vote. Good luck. Get out there. I did my thing.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Well, the first votes are already in as voters in a small town in New Hampshire cast their ballots overnight. Dixville Notch is the first town to vote, holding a town meeting at midnight during every presidential election. 8 residents have voted. Hillary Clinton received half the votes, followed by Trump with 2 votes, Gary Johnson with 1 vote, and one person wrote in Mitt Romney. The voters were very open about why they picked their particular candidate.
Well, I voted for Hillary Clinton. I think she's a strong person. I think she's got the experience to lead our country.
Well, I voted for Mr. Trump for president because I believe he's a free man. I don't believe anybody owns him.
And all 3 towns in New Hampshire have already voted, and Trump is leading those 32 to 25.
I don't know if I'd be happy. And it narrows it down who voted for who. Now, you can vote almost anywhere via absentee ballot, even outer space. NASA says astronaut Shane Kimbrough recently filed his ballot for the presidential election on board the International Space Station. So how does an astronaut vote when they know they'll be orbiting the Earth on Election Day? Well, about a year before the launch, astronauts select which elections they wish to participate in. 6 months later, they receive an application for an absentee ballot in the mail to the space station. Yes, a mailman. Whoever takes over the White House will start off with a clean slate, at least on social media. The Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and similar social media accounts will keep the current followers, usernames, and URL, but the timeline will have no posts from the past president, who was President Obama. He archives his tweets, and they'll be on the new Twitter handle at POTUS44. Other archived social media posts will also have new 44 usernames, and just like past presidents, the National Archives and Records Administration will preserve emails, notes, and now social media posts. And several children at a Florida preschool have been hospitalized after they got sick at school. 19 children at Ave Marie Friends Preparatory School in Lauderhill were taken by ambulance to 3 separate hospitals yesterday. A total of 29 in all eventually showed signs of illness. Emergency crews responded to the scene saying they thought that the widespread illness was a case of food poisoning. The food was reportedly catered. Florida's Department of Health and the Department of Children's Services are both investigating. Also, the Florida Department of Motor Vehicles responding to the outage that shut down all offices in the state for 19 hours over the weekend. A computer crash hit the DMV early Saturday. It had a ripple effect on car dealerships, too. No dealerships could sell any cars during the system outage since they need access to the system to print temporary tags. The state blames a hardware issue which they have been dealing with over the last year or so. Dealers say it's not the first time this issue has happened and more needs to be done to fix it.
They need to figure out a better policy when something like that happens, be more prepared, maybe a backup server or something.
The DMV currently switching to a cloud-based computer system, but they say they don't expect any shutdowns like that to happen again. Of course, they don't expect it, but it may happen.
Electric car maker Tesla Motors says it will end free use of its worldwide charging station network. The company says cars ordered after January 1st, 2017 will get about 1,000 miles worth of credits at the supercharging stations. But after the credits are used, owners have to pay fees. Cars ordered or sold before January 1 still get free charging. Tesla didn't specify the fees, but says it'll cost less than the price of filling a comparable gasoline-powered car. A Wyoming woman says a bottle of salad dressing damaged her home when it exploded.
Wow. It happened while she and friends were making salads for dinner. What else? According to Dival McLean, she heard a popping noise coming from the table. When she looked up, the salad dressing bottle was going crazy. It was shooting up in the air from side to side, and the two took cover, but were convinced the salad dressing was possessed.
It sounded like a firecracker going off in the house.
How loud was this?
Real loud.
It wasn't until later when Dival found out her dressing has been recalled. In a statement from the company, the bacteria in their product caused the dressing to foam or even spew out. Now, Dival says her carpet, computer, and furniture were stained due to this exploding dressing. But I think that, I guess it wasn't just the peppercorns after all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense from a science perspective. There's probably active vinegar in there, and something gets funky, things explode.
Chemical reaction.
So we're making 90 proof, bro.
That's always a possibility that occurred to us.
It's called moonshine dressing.
That's right. It's best be on the floor rather than in your gut, I think.
Yes.
So they actually got lucky there, I would think.
Science experiment.
Oh, my. We have some showers in the forecast down the road, perhaps. Not a big chance, but the only chance we'll have this week. We'll talk about wind in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried, Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current air temperature comes in at 66 degrees, but the dew point makes it feel very comfortable with a 60-degree dew point. We've even had some dew point values overnight in the upper 50s. So nice, really nice. Northeast wind coming in at about 6. Little mix of sun and clouds out there. We are, or at least darkness and clouds right now. Sun coming up in just a few minutes. 60 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca, Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood, Ranch North, Port Punta Gorda. Closer to the coast, a little bit warmer, 63 in Venice and Inglewood, 66 in Sarasota, 65 Longboat Key. Becky Mayaca reported in with a temperature of 57 degrees, so a little cooler at her house. She's not thrilled about the fact that this cold front is coming through and will probably lower our temperatures another 3 or 4 or 5 degrees. High pressure, the dominant feature again today for our forecast. Everything driven today by that high pressure ridge and the winds around it coming in at us from the east. Those easterly winds will spawn maybe a shower or two along our Atlantic coast, but we don't get any rainfall around here today. This frontal boundary back to the west will advance, triggering showers around the Louisiana Delta region. An area of low pressure will develop down in the Gulf waters, northern Gulf waters, and that will eventually lift off to the north and to the east. I think it's going to keep most of the showers down to the south and down in Gulf waters. As they approach land, I think we're going to see more and more the energy from this system start to fade away. I don't think we'll see a whole lot in the way of rainfall being moved into our area as that front approaches late tomorrow. Still, we'll put in about a 20%, if that, chance of an isolated shower or two. Winds out of the northeast will continue today, be breezy at times as that high pressure ridge kind of does battle with that frontal boundary. So look for a sun-cloud mix, a gusty wind in the afternoon, and we'll have some dry skies. Gusty, similar to what we've seen over the last several days, actually gusts up to about 20 or so. We have a few scattered showers over on the other coast trying to make it on shore, but as I mentioned, once they get to shore, they fall apart. And that's going to be the case today. Never making it across the entire peninsula into our region. Showers beginning to overtake areas of Alabama and moving into parts of the Florida Panhandle. We have a good chance at seeing some, maybe even some thunderstorm activity back to the west today. For us, everything is quiet. The radar not showing a blip anywhere in our neck of the woods, nor will it. We remain high and dry. Speaking of high and dry, tropics look great. We're still in the last few weeks of our tropical season, and I don't see anything here that shows any signs of development. Gulf waters, Caribbean. Oh, if you're taking a trip to the Caribbean right now, you've got blue skies wall to wall here, except around Hispaniola, there's a few scattered showers around, but nothing really serious. Near Atlantic, all look good. Nothing here shows any signs of organization or development. For boating today, northeast winds will be somewhat light to start off your morning, but by afternoon, they're going to pick up just a little bit, coming in at about 10 to 15, sustained at 15 during the overnight. Watch for that. That'll bring you a moderate chop on bay and inland waters later on. But for the first half of the day anyway, you can expect a light chop. 2 to 3 foot seas building later in the day. For tides, high tide at 5:38, come and gone. Low tide won't come until just before the 2 o'clock hour. Another high tide this evening at 8:10. Forecast looks pretty good for us. Over the course of the next several days, we'll have temperatures near the 83, 85 degree mark. Then, as the front brings down its cooler weather, we'll finish the work week off with temperatures in the upper 70s. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, John. Taking a look at traffic, Manatee County not showing any major problems. Building volume on the bridges, 301 typical slow spots just south of downtown in both directions. Remember, if you drive by any polling places, polls open at 7, and we do expect traffic around those areas. I-75 looks good through Manatee County as you get into Sarasota. Some volume getting off I-75 on Fruitville, also Bee Ridge and Clark starting to slow down in the typical spots. An accident on the right-hand side of your screen showing up there. That is I-75 in the southbound direction at 179, and then in the northbound direction a little bit farther south at 170, also reporting an accident. But that one right there at Toledo Blade Boulevard is reporting roadblocks, so you can start to expect some problems potentially in the southbound direction there. Northbound, there's an accident at 170.
Thank you, Stephanie. You know, whether it's a fight with your spouse, a deadline at work, or simply just too much on your plate, everyone has stress to deal with.
Yeah, it's a part of our life, and when we're faced with a lot of it, though, it can affect our eating habits. Doctors say our brains send cues to our body when we're stressed. While it makes some folks tune out their hunger cues, stress make others turn into emotional eaters. The best way to combat stress or emotional eating is to be mindful of what triggers it so you can combat it.
If you are someone who is prone to emotional eating, know your triggers, know what stresses you out, be prepared. Also come armed with snacks. Helping to regulate your blood sugar throughout the day is going to keep your body stable and your emotions on a much better playing field.
Doctors say if you can keep food at your desk to help reduce your anxiety, healthy food, or also try things like a stress ball and take 5-minute breaks and take some deep breaths.
Yes, because there's nothing like being hungry and people, snapping, like you snap when you're hungry, like,
and then you hit the vending machine.
Yeah.
In entertainment news, a federal jury has awarded $3 million to a University of Virginia administrator who they said was defamed by Rolling Stone magazine.
It all came about after the magazine wrote the article about a gang rape at a fraternity house at University of Virginia. Nicole Aramo claimed the 2014 article portrayed her as only wanting to protect the university and not help the young lady who was in distress. The jury concluded Friday that the magazine is responsible for libel with actual malice. Aramo testified that she was distraught by the article in the days after its publication. And it's taken decades, but we're now finally able to understand Chewbacca. Actor Peter Mayhew tweeted this footage from the making of The Empire Strikes Back, which is making the rounds online. He's heard talking from inside the suit. It's not the first time we've been able to understand Chewie. A behind-the-scenes look at the original Star Wars also captured the Wookiee speaking instead of howling.
Stranger Things is diving deeper into 80s nostalgia with its latest casting. Goonies star Sean Astin is joining the Netflix series for season 2, as is Paul Reiser, who played a villain in the 1986 sci-fi horror movie Aliens. Reiser will play a government doctor trying to contain the fallout from the events of season 1. Astin will play the manager of the local Radio Shack. You can look for season 2 next year.
Stephen Curry set an NBA record with 13 three-pointers last night, one game after missing all of his three-point shots for the first time in 2 years. The Golden State Warriors beat the winless New Orleans Pelicans 116-106 last night, and Curry finished with 46 points 3 days after the league record streak of 157 games with at least one three-pointer was snapped when he went 0 for 10 in a loss to the LA Lakers. Now, the two-time reigning NBA MVP shot 13 of 17 last night in his 7th career game with double-digit threes.
A happy ending for a K-State student. So his car was broken into by a candy bar thief. Well, now he's getting repaid thousands of times over. Hunter Jobbins wrote on Twitter that he left his car for about 15 minutes, and when he returned, he found a handwritten note on a napkin, and his candy bar was missing. The note from the thief said, "I only took the candy bar because I'm hungry." Well, after seeing Jobbins' misfortune, Hershey decided to replace that stolen treat. It was a Kit Kat, so they sent 6,500 Kit Kat candy bars to the student.
It was crazy when they asked me if they could come and do that, but I was all for it. It's been really crazy how it all happened, and I'm really glad they did it because it's pretty fun. It's a good turnout. It's cool how it all worked out, and I'm really glad it happened in the long run.
It's working out for Hershey as well because Jobbins drove around campus and handed them out, but he said he kept enough to make sure it'll last the rest of the year himself.
Good marketing from my Hershey.
Absolutely.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
We'll have the latest in the day's headlines. Stay with us.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. This hurricane season, turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 15th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. Watch live cooking demonstrations from local chefs and take part in a silent auction to bid on creative prize packages that will delight any foodie or wine connoisseur. The event will feature live music by Kettle of Fish. There's free parking, and all proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. Don't miss this year's Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Come experience the precision, performance, and power of the Ram 1500 during Ram Power Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Built tough enough to help you conquer whatever the day may throw your way with all the comfort, gizmos, and gadgets you'd find in a luxury vehicle. And right now, get over 20% off. That's up to $15,000 off a new Ram 1500. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help.
And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
It is 6:54, and here's what you need to know before you go. It is Election Day. The polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. According to early tallies, more than 6 million people in Florida did early voting or mail-in ballots. Big crowd still expected today, though. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton will head to the polls this morning to cast their ballots in their home state of New York. And here on the Suncoast, a number of local races will also be determined today, including the Bradenton mayoral race and the state Senate seat. ABC7 will have full coverage throughout the day. Taking a look at the roadways, normal volume building in Bradenton over the bridges and on 301. I-75 in Manatee County looks just fine. Across Sarasota, starting to see it picking up on and off I-75 at Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark Roads. But we do have two problems to talk about in South County. A wreck southbound in Northport at exit 179, and that's at Toledo Blade, and another accident reported in the northbound direction at mile marker 170. So be careful in South County. John?
No worries here. All the weather looks great for your outside activities today. Getting to the polls, whatever you want to do. Looks like it's going to be just fine with a daytime high in the mid-80s. Low relative humidity, relatively speaking. Tomorrow, a front will come through. That front late in the day may trigger an isolated shower, but the rain chance really pretty small, and you don't really even have a lot of confidence in that 20%, to be honest. But I think as we head into the next couple of days after that, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all look great with lower relative humidity and lower temperatures.
All right, thank you, John. So weather should be good. No excuse not to get out and vote if you haven't voted already, and help shape the future of our country.
Yes, big day for Election Day. We will, of course, have coverage throughout the day right here on ABC 7. And what I'm hearing is here in Florida, results will start being reported after the polls close in the Panhandle at 8 p.m. So a big evening. You'll want to keep it right here on ABC 7. Good Morning America's up next.